Coffee cake recipes. Check out these 4 recipes. Number 1. The best coffee recipe ever. Prep time 20 minutes. Cook time 45 minutes. Total time 1 hour and 5 minutes. Ingredients: cinnamon filling, 3/4 cup of light brown sugar, 3/4 cup all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, crumb topping, 6 tablespoons of butter melted, 1 cup of light brown sugar, 1½ tablespoons of ground cinnamon, 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Cake: 1 cup butter, room temperature, 1 cup granulated sugar, 2/3 cup of light brown sugar, 3 eggs, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 3/4 cup of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 1/4 cup of milk, 3 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour. Icing: 1 cup of powdered sugar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk. Instructions: preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Coat a 9x13 baking dish with non-stick spray. Set aside. In a medium bowl, prepare the cinnamon filling by whisking together the brown sugar, flour, and cinnamon until combined. Set aside. To prepare the crumb topping, mix together the melted butter, brown sugar, cinnamon, and flour in a medium bowl until it resembles coarse crumbs. Use your hands to mix to form larger crumb pieces and set aside. For the cake, mix the butter, granulated sugar, and light brown sugar in the bowl of your stand mixer. Fit it with the paddle attachment of medium speed for 2 minutes until light and fluffy. Add in the eggs, vanilla, sour cream, salt, and baking powder, and mix for 1 minute until combined and smooth, scraping the sides of the bowl as necessary. Turn the mixer to low and add in the flour and milk in alternating portions, beginning and ending with flour. Mix until just combined and smooth, again scraping the sides of the bowl as necessary. Spread half of the cake batter into the prepared pan. Sprinkle the cinnamon, filling evenly on top of the batter. Carefully spread the remaining cake batter on top of the cinnamon layer. Evenly sprinkle the crumb topping on top. Bake for 40 to 45 minutes or until the cake is set and a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean. Remove cake from the oven and place the pan in a wire rack to cool completely. Whisk together the powdered sugar and milk until smooth and drizzle on top of the cooled cake. Or alternatively, sprinkle with powdered sugar instead of making the icing. Number 2. Moist coffee loaf cake. Prep time 10 minutes. Cook time 1 hour. Total time 1 hour. Ingredients: 225 grams or 1 3/4 cup of plain all-purpose flour sieved, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 175 grams or 3/4 of cup softened butter, 200 grams or 1 cup of regular sugar, 2/3 cup or 150 milliliters of milk, 2 large eggs lightly beaten, 4 teaspoons of coffee granules dissolved in 1 tablespoon of hot water. Instructions: heat the oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease and line your baking tin. See here for how to line. Get all of your ingredients ready, i.e. dissolve the coffee, sieve the flour, and add the salt and baking powder to the flour. Start with making the cake batter by creaming the butter and sugar until a pale light color. Slowly add the beaten eggs to the mixer on a low speed setting, a bit at a time. If the mixture starts to curdle or split, add a spoonful of your sieved flour. Keep on adding the eggs and a bit of flour if necessary until all of the eggs are added. Keeping the mixer on a low speed, add the coffee mixture, milk, and the rest of the flour. Transfer the cake mixture to the greased and lined loaf tin. Then place in the oven for 1 hour to 1 hour and 5 minutes. Check to see if it's cooked using a skewer. Every oven varies, so keep an eye on your cake. Have a cup of tea and allow to cool. Store in an airtight container. You can also freeze half of all of it, wrap in parchment paper, then place in a zippy bag. Defrost as normal and enjoy. It will still be moist. Cinnamon Streusel coffee cake. Ingredients for the Streusel topping and center: 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of packed light brown sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon, coarse salt, 1½ sticks of cold unsalted butter cut into small pieces, 1½ cups of coarsely chopped toasted pecans. For the cake, 1 stick of unsalted butter, room temperature, plus more for pan, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, coarse salt, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 2 large eggs, 1½ teaspoons of pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of sour cream, and for the glaze, 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, 2 tablespoons of whole milk. Directions. Step 1. Make the Streusel topping. Mix together flour, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Cut in butter using a pastry cutter or rub in with your fingers until small to medium clumps form. Mix in half a cup of pecans. Refrigerate until ready to use. Step 2. Make the Streusel center. Mix together the remaining 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 cup of pecans. Step 3. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Make the cake. Butter a 9-inch tube pan with a removable bottom. Sift flour, baking powder, baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt into the bowl. Step 4. Beat the butter and the granulated sugar with the mixer on medium speed until pale and fluffy, about 2 minutes. Beat in the eggs one at a time, then vanilla. Beat in the flour mixture in 3 additions, alternating with sour cream, beginning and ending with flour. Continue to beat until well combined. Step 5. Spoon half of the batter into the pan. Sprinkle the Streusel center mixture evenly over the batter. Top with the remaining batter and spread evenly using an offset spatula. Sprinkle the Streusel topping mixture evenly over the batter. Step 6. Bake until cake is golden brown and a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean, about 55 minutes. Transfer the pan to a wire rack and let cool completely. Remove the cake from the pan and transfer to parchment. Step 7. Make the glaze. Mix together confectioner's sugar and milk. Drizzle over the cake and let it drip around the sides. Let set for 5 minutes before serving. Number 4. Sour cream coffee cake. Prep time 15 minutes. Cook time 1 hour and 5 minutes. Total time 1 hour and 20 minutes. Ingredients for the sour cream coffee cake: 2 cups of granulated sugar, half a cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter softened, 4 large eggs room temperature, 1 1/4 cups of full fat sour cream, 4 cups of all-purpose or cake flour sifted, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of fresh blueberries, 2 peaches peeled, pitted, and diced. Streusel topping: half a cup or 1 stick of unsalted butter softened, 1 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Instructions. Streusel topping: in a bowl, combine the ingredients with your fingers. Adjust the cinnamon to your liking. Sour cream coffee cake: preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Line 3 loaf pans with baking papers and set aside. In a large mixing bowl of a stand mixer or use an electric hand mixer, cream together the butter and sugar. Add the salt, eggs, vanilla, and sour cream and combine. Occasionally scrape the sides and bottom of the bowl with a rubber spatula. Add the half of the flour and combine. Scrape the bowl again with a rubber spatula. Add the remaining flour and baking powder and mix until combined. Fold in the blueberries and peach pieces. Divide the batter evenly between the 3 loaf pans. Sprinkle the Streusel topping evenly on the top of each unbaked coffee cake. Keep any leftover Streusel topping in the freezer safe Ziploc bag. Place the loaf pans on a half-sheet pan lined with parchment paper. Bake in preheated 350 degrees Fahrenheit oven for 60 to 65 minutes. Cakes are done when a toothpick inserted into the center of the cakes comes out clean. Let the cakes cool for 20 minutes before slicing.